let's talk about avoidant.
Oh,
I know
Lord.
this is the profile that you don't know what to do. You don't know what to say, ladies. You start to hate the avoidant. There is a new movement. Let's hate the avoidant.
Everyone's
here.
an avoider.
So, Mr. Coach Andres, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I didn't avoid this. I wanted to be here. I wanted to be here to help the situation because, again, I know you ladies are out there so tired of this avoidant attacher.
And I know that you made a lot of research lastly. I know that you created amazing videos, amazing programs as well. I know you have coached so many women regarding this avoidance situation. And so we received a lot of content, comments, and questions via emails. And even on Instagram, they reach out to me to say, Alex, can you ask Andres this question? So question number one, Coach Andres, can I be happy with an avoidant?
Yes.
Is it possible to be happy with an avoidant?
Yes.
Should I accept him the way he is then? Or can I make him change? Because every woman, they come to me, even in French. You know, I have my French channel. They say, Alex, I want to change him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be an avoidant anymore.
Yeah.
What's your take on this, Coach Andres?
Well, you have to look at this, and you need to be fair, ladies. Everyone is something.
Okay.
Yes, men are more avoidant and women are more anxious, but I've coached all different dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be avoidant anxious attachment. You can have a little bit of both. And so the idea is there are healthy versions of an avoidant attachment as just like a healthy version of anxious attachment. They have some grasp and some awareness about the situation. Avoidant men want love, intimacy, relationships, affection. They want all that. Mm-hmm. They're just not good at communicating or at least expressing it. And they actually prefer to have the avoidance of distance, not to offend or disrespect you, but to find the more security within themselves, to almost to recharge, to almost to basically stabilize themselves because they really were so much open than they normally were. And they're basically trying to kind of get back to their roots. They basically create avoidance to maybe secure themselves compared to offending you. And so a healthy person who has an avoidant attachment style makes sure that we're always on the same page. There's clarity, there's stability, we have transparency, we're both on the same page. You feel at peace when I leave or the date's over or when the phone call is done compared to more mystery and questions. So yes, you can be with a healthy relationship with an avoider because they do what's the most important at the moment when we're together.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's really does echo to what I was saying in my videos and coaching program. I made a live about that. I say an avoidant won't act against you.
Yeah.
It will be for himself.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of recharge the battery, recharge the energy. Because if you are in a relationship with an avoidant, he will make you feel alive.
Yeah.
He will make you feel loved. He will make you feel happy. But the problem is that, and it's not really a problem, he will also need time for himself.
Yes.
So sometimes you will feel so happy and sometimes you won't understand why is he so distant. He's not distant against you. You didn't say something wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. But it's just the idea that being with an avoidant, you need to accept the fact that he needs to recharge the battery. He needs to feel okay with himself because as Coach Andres mentioned, it's very important for him to feel secure.
Yes.
And so I've seen some avoidant, if they don't use the distance, there is a moment they feel empty and they will decide for the breakup. They will tell you that they cannot do it anymore. They will tell you that it's not, they don't feel happy. They don't feel good with themselves. They don't feel good with you in a way that basically they don't feel empowered. So how can the ladies that are listening to this podcast, Coach Andres, how can they avoid making an avoidant feel overwhelmed?
Well, appreciate effort.
Okay. Giving value?
Giving value on effort. The idea is men aren't as comfortable or confident to be vulnerable or expressive with their words when it comes to emotions. So just the idea of him trying or being open with it is results. It's progress. So you want to welcome that. You want to basically not criticize or judge that. You don't want to expect and perfect that things need to be done a certain way. You have to look at it where it's also in this sense. If you're dating an avoider, there's a good chance that you're an anxious attacher.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all know when someone's overly anxious, it's quite annoying. And so if you're annoying me because you're texting me all day, every day because you're anxious, this is not going to last. You need to have a grasp on when you know when it's appropriate time to reach out, or when we have a phone call and not blowing up my phone. You have a self-awareness to know what is reasonable and fair. And that's the same perception you should have as an avoider. Yes, you know you like your space. Yes, you're very independent. Yes, you're very dominant with your lifestyle and your choices. But you also make sure you consider mine in a sense that we're always on the same page. Mm-hmm. You both need to compromise to develop a secure attachment individually. So when you look at having an avoider, you're saying, okay, is there more questions and concerns when we leave? I don't know if I really want that kind of avoider. Mm-hmm. Or is there more clarity and answers after we leave? Then that's something you want to work with because you see growth.
Yeah. And that's what we need to understand, is that love is not always easy. There is a lot of people out there that are just different. And sometimes I had this situation in coaching when women would tell me, but Alex, we ate it off. We clicked. It was so easy and natural. When you say this, ladies, it's subconsciously, but you think that the guy is the same as you. You think that everything would be normal and everything would be easy, which is never the case. Yeah. We always need to learn it's two people that are just different. Being with an avoidant, you will find a lot of challenges. That doesn't mean that it's not possible. That doesn't mean that you cannot be happy with him. That doesn't mean that you are not meant to be together. But the relationship would be different from a fairy tale. It would be different from a movie. It would be different sometimes from your friends and family. But that's why it's not a good idea to seek advice from them, because they won't understand the dynamic and the situation.
You know, it's very interesting when I was researching all this, how, I hate to say it, but there's so much similarities between an avoidant and a narcissist.
Yes, there is a lot of...
And so I hear the narcissists too often. There's not that many narcissists, ladies. There's not. I'm telling you, there's not. Yeah. Stop labeling everyone as a narcissist. Are they an asshole? Maybe. Do they need help? Sure. Are they insensitive? Possibly. But narcissism is a specific situation where they want you to feel inferior all the time.
Yeah, they're trying to destroy you.
They want to reject any options or ideas you have to make sure they're always in control. Whereas an avoider is open to it. They're just not good at it. Mm-hmm. They create space to basically recharge themselves, secure themselves, to kind of like, wow, she's amazing. Whew. All right, let's do it again. You know what I'm saying? In the sense where he needs to kind of reflect on what he really has with you. An avoider wants to make things work. They're just maybe not as good at expressing it. Whereas a narcissist doesn't care what you say. He's not considerate about you. Doesn't want you to feel good. Wants you to be uneasy. Wants you to feel basically unsure of yourself, because then in that way I provide your security, I provide your safety, I provide your happiness. And that is by far not only toxic, but unhealthy, and get out of there. Don't make every avoider a narcissist. An avoider who just has someone who's a little bit of a guard or a little more reserved is willing to open that up for you.
Yeah, and also because I've seen so many situations where when there is a breakup, women will come to me and say, he's an avoidant. And sometimes it could just be a man, you know, even myself. I find myself, I like to be by myself sometimes. And I need to recharge the battery.
All the time.
I'm open to communication. I love to talk. I love to be there. But sometimes I need time for myself. That doesn't make me an avoidant 100%. So it's very important to also make sure that you have the right behavior for the right profile. And what I was mentioning is this. It's like, it's not that easy. And you need to be okay with it, because when women came to me, and I want to pick your advice on this one, Coach Andres, they say, Alex, I'm in a relationship with this avoidant. I met this avoidant. I want to be with him. I will always tell them, when someone is an avoidant, it's quality over quantity.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you want to talk to him every day, you will lose him. Oh. If you want to text him 10 times a day, you will lose him. If you want to go on holidays for 3 weeks with him, you will also push him away. It's quality over quantity. What do you think of this?
Well, I was saying this earlier when we had this other podcast title about how avoidant men are more practical with their support compared to emotional. Mm-hmm. So they're not really good in their emotional department. Not that they don't want to try, not that they don't want to get better, not that they know that you deserve it. Mm-hmm. But if you feel the practical support from your man and not getting as much emotional support, you're still in a great situation, because you see the commitment, you see the investment on his end, and he's working on something that he needs to get better at because he knows that's important for a relationship to succeed. But one thing I keep on telling my clients in this situation, and I find it so funny. Oh, I saw a red flag, coach. Oh, I'm seeing avoidant actions. Get over it. Everyone has a red flag. Everyone has an attachment style. Don't be so shocked. Don't be surprised. Oh, he's an avoidant. Oh my God. Red flag. Oh my God. Like, it's everyone has it. The idea, are they aware of it? Are they working on it? Have they acknowledged it? Or are they using it as an excuse? Are they using it as a manipulation tactic? Are they using it to take advantage of having a power over you? Or are they just basically cold and inconsiderate and an asshole, and they're just going to keep on taking away as much as they can get away with? So when someone shows an avoidant tendencies, don't be so turned off because your anxious tendencies are just as annoying.
Yeah.
So are you willing to understand, yes, I have an attachment style, but it doesn't control me?
Yeah, and to rebound what you're saying, like, some people are not aware of it, but when you mention it to them, they work on it. That's
Yes.
something I value so much in my marriage with my wife, because she says, when I put my mind into something you're telling me, I do it. And so maybe she's not an avoidant, but she's kind of like me. She likes her free time. She likes to be by herself sometimes as well. But what is very important in your world, Coach Andres, is that avoidant or not, when someone hears something that he can do or she can do better for you, they will do it if they are good people. And it's not because he's an avoidant that whatever you say, he doesn't care. Whatever you do, he take it personally. That's not being an avoidant. And if he's not aware, but you mention it and he's changing, it won't be like you want all the time. You have to also be honest with yourself, and you have to be reasonable a little bit.
Yeah.
But if he tries to make it better, as you mentioned, an avoidant is not good at it, but he's trying. That's still possible. It's not because he's an avoidant that we cannot be in a relationship with this guy. Unless you want to be with someone 24 hours, you want to hear, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. That won't make it work with an avoidance. So
No way. I just look at it where I think women and people in the dating world need to have more compassion with people in general. I know dating is tough. I know it's hard to find the right one. There are good men out there. They're hard to find. Just like there are great women out there. They're hard to find too. We need to be have an emotional intelligence and emotional maturity that everyone has some form of, let's say, I love this quote I heard from this video. Everyone has some form of baggage. But is it checking in 3 overweight suitcase baggages, or is it just a nice simple carry-on? Do they have a grasp on how to be effective with their baggage? Have they minimized the baggage, resolved certain baggage, taken care of certain baggage to know, I could just do a carry-on? Like, okay, because now you realize you've worked on yourself to make yourself more, not just a high-value person, but you're now taking the idea that you're flawed, and you're trying to minimize that. You're trying to make, your red flags more orange in a sense. So you're not having 3 loads of, check-in baggage, tons of baggage. I don't know if I'm an attacher or not. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what you're talking about. And they have an idea.
To quote you on what you said in the previous video, it's not always the red flags. It's the green flags. I love what you mentioned. Yes, I have red flags, but I have so many green flags.
Yeah.
And I love it because that's how you can build a relationship, ladies, with an avoidant. When you focus on the positivity, when you focus on what is good between the two of you. If you want to be with an avoidant, you know that your relationship will be different. You know that your relationship will also help you be more independent. And it's not bad in today's world, valuing your independence, focusing on your goals, your dreams. That doesn't mean that your relationship is not stable. Doesn't mean your relationship is not strong. It's just a different relationship from what our parents will tell us, what the society will tell us. So I think it's very important to live with the world that we are in right now, because avoidant men, I think it tends, maybe you have seen this in your research, Coach Andres, but it seems that there is a lot of more avoidant people.
Yes.
Than before.
So I went further down, not just relationship-wise with avoidant attachment, is that everyone in the world post-2020 have become more avoidant for safety, security reasons. You literally can't touch me. 6 feet away. Wash your hands. Like, we as humans, and regardless in the dating world, have become more avoidant for safety reasons. So even if you weren't avoidant, you're now more reserved. Even if you weren't avoidant, now you're more selective of who you handshake with or not. You're more aware of it. You're more cautious of it. So everyone became more avoidant, especially with the idea with this whole, masculine, feminine, toxicness in the sense of way of like people become more guarded and protective.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so funny that how avoidant is such a very trendy, catchy topic to search and talk about and coach on, because it's so funny. And I say this again, not to be insensitive. When someone's too anxious, you already know what to do. I don't need advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's annoying. See ya. Goodbye. Yeah. But the avoidance creates that mystery, the unknown, that space, that kind of, does he really love me? And so I always have these three quick tips onto knowing you are in a healthy relationship with an avoider. 1, you feel mentally clear where you stand in the relationship. 2, you feel more energized after he leaves or hangs up the phone. And 3, you're more loving toward your world, not just him. There is a great effect that you might see because of a good man who is somewhat avoidant, but he prioritizes on you making you feel clear with your thoughts and where we are in a relationship, feeling energized where he's optimistic and hopeful and caring and supportive, and then obviously loving because he's also very supportive in who you are, encouraging. And so when you feel those 3 things, you're like, you know what? Maybe he's not as affectionate or as emotional as I would want, but wow, look at these great things I have going on here.
And I think that the number 1, being clear, is very important, because I've coached so many women who would tell me, Alex, it's not clear.
Yeah.
Am I in a relationship? Does he miss me? Does he want to be with me? And so if you don't have clear answers with some few actions, because, sometimes men can be like, yeah, but I'm an avoidant. So I've seen men who tell a woman, yes, we are together. Amazing. It's clear. We will see each other. It's clear. But they are never initiating. It's been 6 weeks. They are ghosted. I mean, for me, it's not clear.
No.
I don't like it.
You're saying the right things, not doing the right things.
Okay, it's perfect. So see, ladies, you need to make sure that he does the things.
Yeah.
It's not because he's an avoidant that he cannot act. So please don't find excuses as well, because most of the time when he's a narcissist or just very stupid guy, you will find him the excuse that, yeah, but he's an avoidant. His mom didn't give him love. Look, we are not 50 years ago. We are today. We need to make sure that we focus on today.
Yep.
And if you want to get clear answers, make sure that you go watch coachingwithandres.com. There is a lot of coaching options, a lot of content as well. You can watch my channel, French Relationship Expert. But what is important now, it is possible to be with an avoidant. It's becoming even more normal right now.
Yes. And again, it's huge to become more familiar with it and not so surprised by it. Be more prepared about it. Be more educated about it. So it's in the sense of if someone is unhealthy avoidant, they are more of being not just reserved and inconsiderate, but they're just basically, they'll figure it out when it's convenient for them. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it when we need to. Well, it's okay. It's not a big deal. They keep on delaying things because obviously they want to avoid the confrontation. They want to avoid the situation, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas a narcissist rejects everything and puts it on you. Constantly basically makes you feel inferior to him. So an avoider is not necessarily a narcissist unless it goes to that level. Mm-hmm. But if an avoider is being difficult, stubborn, or basically just kind of nonchalant about something important to you, that's an unhealthy avoider.
Yeah, they are very selfish.
Exactly. They're not ready for a relationship. Mm-hmm. They're not a narcissist, but they're definitely not ready for a relationship. Whereas someone who has a grasp of secure avoidant attachment, let's talk. Okay. All right, let's figure this out.
The good news is that we can definitely help you, ladies. Of course, you can start with the 5 stars review of the podcast.
Yep.
Help us with a comment. Just leave a comment. Ask us your question. We'll be there for you. Maybe we'll do a topic about your question as well.
Love that.
And we would love to be your coach as well. I know, Coach Andres, you help them in different areas of their life.
Yeah, so I'm also a certified life and corporate coach, and I also offer fitness and nutrition guidance because I used to be a personal trainer for 7 years in California. So I try to be a one-stop shop coach. Ladies, if you're listening to this Spotify podcast, I want you to email me on my website, coachingwithandres.com. My contact information is there. My social platforms are there. Message me, email me about what we just said about your interest in a coaching package, and I'll give you a free consultation.
So this is with coachingwithandres.com. Thank you, ladies, for tuning in during this podcast. We will see you next week. We'll talk about narcissists, how to protect yourself, because there is a lot of women that are losing themselves with stupid men. So this is our journey. We are here for you, ladies. We will see you soon. Thank you, Coach Andres.
Take care.
Take care, buddy.